following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome to another edition of NiagaraStuff. It's your boy Stens. Today I have a friend of mine, Mr. Joel Holka. He's joining us today to discuss some things that are going on in Niagara County, Niagara Falls, some reunions, some alumni events, a bunch of good stuff. Welcome, Joel.
What's up, Chris?
Can you take a second just to introduce yourself to the audience and get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a Niagara Falls boy, born downtown on Bird Avenue. Lived there for a year, moved to Forest Avenue, and right before I started kindergarten, moved out to LaSalle on 90th Street and lived in LaSalle until I got married and moved on from there. But
right.
Yeah,
and now you live in Lewiston?
Yeah, it's on Lower Mountain Road, so it's considered town of Lewiston, Bonds Lake area.
Oh, okay, good.
And I did basically insurance for about 40 years, retired 2 years ago.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Now you're living the retired life.
Heck yeah.
Probably working more than you did when you were
sleeping in.
Oh, perfect. Swimming in this glorious weather.
Watching the grandkids so it's great, man. It's highly recommended.
Yeah, good. I'll get there one day. But until then,
you can do it.
Yeah, welcome to NiagaraStuff. You have some things coming up this summer, some good stuff,
right.
Some alumni. There's reunions.
Right.
The first week of August. You're saying August 2nd?
August, This year we start on August 1st. Actually, we do like I was mentioning to you earlier. We try to let the LaSalle people know if they have a reunion that they're planning.
Any class,
okay. Whatever your reunion is from this point forward. If you look for the first Friday in August, our LaSalle Alumni Weekend will always start then. Whether reunions are involved or not, we're having that.
Yeah,
that's the way you can plan it.
Right.
And then we have a golf outing. Last year we sold out 144 golfers.
Wow.
So we golf just 9 holes at Hyde Park. Then
perfect.
We have we call it a Friday night bash. It's at Wilbur's outside. He puts up a tent, the whole thing. We get live music. And then all the reunion people have to do is plan theirs the next day. Their dinner or whatever they want to do.
That's Saturday, right?
Yep. And then the next day is always, so that Sunday is always the Love in LaSalle Outdoor Music Festival. Joanne King and the Alumni Association run that. And there's usually about 5 bands. Almost all of them have some connection to LaSalle. Mm-hmm. Either they went to school there or kids went to school there, whatever. And it goes all day from 1 to 8, and it averages about 400 people throughout the day in and out. And nice. It's just a great time. So,
this is like the 10th year? I mean, is it been going that long? Or definitely 5, right?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be, I think it may be closer to 10, yeah.
Perfect.
The golf thing just started out. We had 20 people the first year. A couple girls said, let's do, and then we figured it out, a way to do this where we could, try to get reunions involved.
It's a good idea.
It's great because
you can use it as like the North Star and just look towards that and go to that every time, and you kind of already set up. Or you have at least got the flow down.
Yeah, and and as we get older, people are unfortunately dying, or we're losing people. So some of these reunions don't even happen anymore. I watch Facebook and I see people go, "Are we having a reunion?"
Ours didn't. Yeah. People that same thing. Facebook said, "What's going on?" And nobody responded, or whoever the original. I mean, it's kind of tough to give them that job in high school as a senior and say, for the rest of your lives, you have to do the reunions. Yeah. So I don't think no one even responded. Maybe one of what were they called? The advisors, or I forget what they were called, but no one chimed in. And then our 30th came and went, I think.
Yeah, and that's sad. I mean, that sucks. It's just getting people together. But
that's a great plan, though, to have something to steer towards and around. And then you'll have all the ages, too, that you can meet up at those events.
And you mix it up, and people, especially out-of-towners, might not be able to make that one day that you plan.
Yeah.
So if you have something the day before and the day after, they might have a chance to come in. Plus, it gives them more of an incentive to come because there's more than just the one night there.
See all the ages, too, the people that you knew in the other grades and things.
Absolutely. And we got this year, class before me was the 75, their 50th. So we got 75, 80, and 85 in town.
Wow.
And they're all aware of the weekend. And it's volunteer if they want to come golf. It's
Yeah.
not required. It's just that those events are there to offer the classmates.
Perfect.
Here's what we got, and then we do our thing on a Saturday, or the classes do it.
Yeah, Saturday is usually like a dinner or something, and then I want to say Sunday it was like a game or something, picnic.
Right.
Yeah,
That's how
what
they
it is.
used to do it.
Right.
So we,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So it's the one behind the what do you call it? The American Legion on Buffet. It's so good.
That's a LaSalle party event for everybody. Nothing to do with reunions. It just happens to be the LaSalle
Yep.
going on that weekend.
Anybody can come out, and people come out, and it's literally music all day.
Mm-hmm.
When they're changing bands, they'll have maybe a solo artist playing, and
Nice.
so it's just all day music.
It's in the parking lot area.
just behind it. Yeah,
Yep.
I never realized how big it is back there.
I'm trying to think.
It's spacious.
There's that apartment complex too, right?
Yeah,
Over there, kind of.
they probably don't look forward to that.
No.
because it ends by 8, so it's not bad. But
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, it's early.
it's a great weekend, and we should be. And then I'll have my 50th next year, so it's going to be cool.
Wow, good.
It's easy, and it just makes it easy for the planners.
Yeah,
They know what day to do it, and you got
work around
a
it.
bookend of events
Yeah,
to
that's great.
offer.
Great. When I first started planning on doing the podcast and getting this going with Rich, you were one of the guests that I wanted to have on here from the get-go.
Okay.
And it was because when I see your posts and things on social media, it was so alumni pride, Explorer pride,
Right.
all the time. Your posts were, about whether it was football or just in general, like good spirit for LaSalle, and that was good to see. That's why I wanted to have you on to talk about, and we can go over a lot of the memories that you had. You were in I graduated in '92, so you had a different look and feel for your
Right.
class.
Absolutely.
Ours was different. We were a little more like you sound that you have like a tighter class. It seems like maybe more people would show up and things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think back then, like in the 70s and 80s, I think it was a little tighter, and then it started getting loose eventually, and then they built the new school. So it's kind of tough when you're driving by and there's not a building anymore.
Stinks.
It's nuts.
Tell you what bothered me the most was they tore it down, and I think it sat vacant for that land for about a decade.
Yeah.
They had,
No.
there was nothing. So thinking, wait, this is better.
Right.
This field is better than
Yeah.
a beautiful facility. They had just put that addition on the right hand side with horticulture.
That was when I was in there.
Yeah. And then you tear it down. That the athletic fields behind there were second to none. The football field was the best, the best one in the league. And to tear it down and
Nothing.
and then so it's sad. I've lost my grade school was 93rd.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's gone because of the Love Canal.
Right.
Senior high's gone. The junior high, it was like a prison. I never liked the junior high.
I said the same. A prison. It
was
looked
like a
like
prison.
it looks, and even the inside. Now I probably felt like that because I was in junior high.
I
So
still have
felt like
nightmares
it was
about walking in that rectangle looking for my locker.
I do too. I have not nightmares, but little like those like herky jerky nightmares where I'm trying to get my combination open. But I'm my age now, and I'm in high school, and I'm like still 33-11. Like, fuck.
Do I go buy it? Do I come back?
Yeah, I'm late for class. I haven't studied for this test or exam. Like that must be left residuals from high school
Yes,
somehow.
we've been scarred.
Yeah.
No, it was, but it's sad. It really was because that school the facility was in good shape.
And they got it. It looked nicer with the horticulture wing, and it seemed. I don't know.
Yeah, it's politics.
I was just gonna say politics.
That's what happened, and then and then I think the other part that's hurtful is that when they renamed the school, it should have been obviously it could be Niagara Falls High School, but there's no Explorers, there's no brown or gold. There could have been some remnant of LaSalle, and none of it.
No, nothing.
And that's that kind of. Whatever, it's done, but I drive by. I live out where I told you on Lower Mountain. I'll drive by Wheatfield a lot of times, and I look. I go, there's a football stadium, and I wish I could go back to my stadium where I played ball. I wish I could go watch
Glory
a game.
days. Revisit the glory days.
But I'm jealous. Newport and Wheatfield are the only ones that are still, and good for them.
Yeah.
But
funny thing about the Niagara Falls Wolverines. Rich, you might know about this, but the picking the mascot, they gave it to the students. I think this is the short version, but they gave it to the students to vote on what you'd want, and Wolverines was a choice, and the kids chose Wolverines. It's not even indigenous to this area, nothing to do with Niagara Falls,
right.
Because of Wolverine, the superhero.
Wow.
Is why the kids picked it, and it's blue and gold, I think, like Wolverine. Rich, is that true? Do you know? We have our resident expert.
Well, I'm gonna. So first, I'll apologize for the last time I had my mic up too high. So I was involved with that a lot, and so originally, like, one of the thoughts was they wanted to do the colors red, gold, and white, and it was going to be red for Niagara Falls, the gold from LaSalle, and the white from Trot. That was kind of the original idea, and
it's a great idea.
But then they back then everything was about shared decision making, and they wanted the middle school kids to be involved. So the first vote, the kids voted, and the kids somehow Trojans won, and I'm sitting there with Sam Giancola on the committee, and we're like, well, you know why they voted for Trojans?
Right.
And they're like, why? I'm like, because you people are stupid. It's a condom. And so we better revote.
Who didn't think that?
So when they voted again, they had narrowed it down, and things on there were things like the Rapids, and there were some things on there. But for whatever reason, I don't think the Wolverine, like from the superhero, was as much of a thing. I think it was just because a lot of people really were pushing for blue and gold, and Michigan was the Wolverines and they were blue and gold. So I always felt that we ended up with I think the kids, when they heard it was going to probably be blue and gold, they just figured we might as well go with the Michigan, but they don't even use a Wolverine in their logo. I mean, they don't, it's all just they don't really do it. So that was what I remember. Later on, we made a lot of videos at Niagara Falls High School, and it was always like the Wolverine costume that we had. It always had. We bought like the Wolverine
maybe
claws.
That's where the story.
So
the urban
we kind of
legend
merged.
started, yeah.
We kind of did start bringing the Wolverine claws, but that was a little bit later. I don't think that was like the middle school kids. But
well, when I
that's
tell
the way
story,
I remember it.
my story,
I could
I'm
be
going to
wrong,
bitch
though.
about it. My version is that they voted incorrectly and everything.
They did
now.
vote incorrectly, I think, on purpose to try to get the school named the Trojans, which was kind of funny. And then we were like, I think they did that because we gave them a list. I remember
ribbing would have been so easy.
They figured
for
the
that.
middle school kids would be the first kids to go through the school. So they wanted the middle school kids to feel like they were to get excited about it. And the kids, you can't trust middle school kids. That's the problem. So.
No, when I played football for LaSalle, we were stuck we had trailers in the back because they were remodeling the gym and the horticulture wing and everything. So we didn't have anywhere to change. So we had 2 commercial trailers in the back. And that's where the football teams, it stunk. It was disgusting. It was so bad. But we had, we must have had shitty spirit, or maybe we weren't pumped up enough. But the one day we go, whatever morning it was, I think the JV was Saturday morning and varsity. So it might have been like a Thursday. And we come out and the trailers were trashed. I don't know if you guys ever heard this before, but trailers were trashed. All our stuff and uniforms were thrown all on the field, on the grass. And they spray painted cake eaters across the sides of the trailers.
So that was the Niagara Falls people, right?
Downtown. Now, anyone in our age, we had no idea. We never heard that before. I heard Rich in one of the previous podcasts talking about cake eater, being called a cake eater. We didn't know what that meant. There was a big. No
I don't remember how that started, but I remember at some point, and I was a LaSalle kid who then worked at the old Niagara Falls High School, so I was always that on both sides of that line, so to speak. But it was like that cake eater thing. There's always that funny thing about, you're a bunch of cake eaters, and I don't know I don't know how it started. Somebody started it, but it started even before that trailer, because I remember being in high school.
It was before my time.
I always thought it had something to do with manja cake. I always assumed it was an Italian thing, like manja cake. That was my assumption, but I was also probably 16 when I guessed that, so who knows?
So they throw all our stuff, they disrespect us in that, and then it comes, and none of us are like impacted by the saying cake eaters, because we don't even know what it means. It could have been something in Spanish for all we knew. Like, we had no idea. And then we find out that it was an old saying. Finally, it comes out a month later or so that the coaches sabotaged their own stuff to get us pumped up. They threw our stuff out on the grass, but nothing was ruined. Right. Like, they didn't rip any of our stuff up or spray paint. And the spray paint was on the outside of the trailers, but the trailers they were like, I think they were crushing them or something afterwards. Like, they were old and they're like not working anymore.
Jerry Del Zappo behind this?
Del Zappo, Giancola. Yep.
Spanbauer?
Yeah, Spanbauer.
Okay.
And then, so now years later, as an adult, we talked to those guys, and I was on a board with Spanbauer in Niagara Falls, and he goes, yeah, that was us. We tried to rile you guys up, but the cake eaters,
They didn't get it.
that gave it away because we didn't get it, and nobody.
Right.
And that was like a 20-year-old saying or something like that. So
Yeah, if you're gonna vandalize, you got to do some history, man. You got before you know what's going on.
and smash some shit,
Yeah.
and make it like slash the tires or whatever else.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think we were 0-8 that year, so we needed some kind of kick in the ass, but that was a weird one.
They tried.
Yeah, they tried. Who was on your team? I mean, who was like the? I know I see the old pictures that you post and that, and it's hilarious.
From LaSalle.
Oh yeah, with everybody's got the long hair, the mustaches and stuff.
Oh man, yeah.
Good stuff.
We had a great. Like I was telling you before, I've always said LaSalle's always had good athletes year after year, but when we were playing, there was no history of success. All right, so I played varsity in my sophomore year, and we were, I think, 4-4. That was a big move. Next year we were 2-6 my junior year. The next year, my senior year, we went 7-1, and we turned it around because of the guys that we had on the team. I was one of the captains along with Jimmy Wingfield and Charlie Pittaresi. We had, I think the reason we won, we had a lot of good athletes, but we had guys that cared about it. We worked out in the summer together.
Oh yeah.
You know,
band together.
Yeah, and we lost our second game 20-15, and it grinds me to this day. The way they used to scout back then, the JV coaches would go the week before to watch your next opponent. Well, our next opponent was Williamsville North, who ended up winning the league, and they beat us 20-15.
They were always a tough team. I think
they were good.
Yeah.
But our coaches, the JV coaches, there's a Williamsville North, South, and East back then, and they were supposed to go north. They went east or whatever. They didn't scout them.
Oh.
No scouting report. We knew they had this kid that was his last name was Broughton, and he was super fast, like a track star. So we prepared all week for sweeps, basically to get this kid outside. They ran a triple option, and a triple option is not. I always say this, it's not brain surgery on how to stop it, but it's a discipline. You know, linebackers got the dive guy, the ends got the quarter, you know, that kind of thing. And if you don't practice it, you're just going to keep going for the ball. You're not going to be. So, anyways, they were doing that, running on us, and we're figuring it out through the game. So we lost again by less than a score, and I guarantee you, and I would bet my life on it, and I wish I could go back and play it. If we knew that from the beginning, it would have been a different outcome, and we would have been undefeated. But we had a great year. We had. I also think it was pretty cool. We scrimmaged Orchard Park, preseason, controlled scrimmage where you just get the ball in the 40 and you run 10 plays, and then the other team does the same. This team in Orchard Park had 3 future pro football players on.
Really?
Larry Foll, who became Lex Luger in the wrestling world.
Shit.
He played for the Montreal Alouettes. Jim Burt, nose guard for the Giants that beat us in the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, and Craig Wolfley, who just passed away recently, offensive lineman for the Steelers, starting for years. And we scrimmaged them head up. Nobody scored on each other. So we had a good team. And my biggest memory about that is at the end of the year we played Newport. And Newport was out. They were dominant back then. They were the year before they had they won 8-0, and they had 1 touchdown scored on them all year.
Wow.
The whole year. Right? So, and then they had Tommy Blinko, who unfortunately passed away. He played for Ohio State for Woody. What am I thinking? I'm drawing a blank. Woody Hayes. Thank you. Too many hits to the head. And Mark Zaya, who ended up going to Notre Dame. So these guys were like men amongst boys.
Yeah.
So they got these big dudes. They had a lot of good athletes, and we beat them 10-8 at LaSalle. And that
barn burner.
It was defense, man. Everybody was hitting.
Yeah.
And there were, according to the newspapers, 2,500 people.
Wow.
That's big.
Yeah.
If you get 500 at a local game,
that's
a good
I think we
crowd.
just had the players' parents at our game. It might have been 50 people.
We had 2,500 people.
Holy shit.
And both stands were filled, and people were, 2 deep all the way around the track.
Wow, cool. That had to be awesome.
And
Friday nights?
No, it was a Saturday afternoon game. And the best feeling I ever had was towards the end of the game, when Kevin Carwath, he came back. He's our quarterback. He came back from the sideline when we got the ball. He says, we don't have to run a play. We can take a knee twice. And I got a chill up and down my spine. I go, yeah, we did it. Because it was,
All right.
it was not,
It was a good night.
nobody expected us to win that game.
That's perfect.
And then it was cool. People were coming out onto the field, and my mom's kissing everybody as they're coming off the field. And there's a big, I tell the story all the time, there's a big, it had rained the night before, so there's this big mud puddle by the tennis courts, by the gym locker room. Coaches were diving in the puddle. And
that had to be awesome.
Tate and Sir were doing all this stuff. And funny part is then we're going in, and people are still coming in the locker room to congratulate us. And here comes Mr. Cedeo. Bill Cedeo is our principal. He's a pretty strict guy. He walks in. And a couple guys there was a bottle of champagne. A couple guys were smoking cigars, and it wasn't nothing outrageous. Nothing outrageous. But he walks in. He's got this big grin on his face, and I'm thinking, oh, somebody's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
He walks in, and he walked out, and he never said anything.
That was good. Good celebration. Yeah, let you guys go.
I saw him years ago. Years later, I said, man, that was the coolest movie you ever made.
That's cool.
In and out, and that was.
Imagine now how much trouble even just lighting a cigar.
Oh yeah.
Would be friggin'. Jeez.
The only difference,
every newspaper.
Difference back then, we were 18. It was legal.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
But still, you can't do that.
No.
But we did.
That's good. That's
We
good.
did.
Some good memories there.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I see. Like when I read your post, it makes you those kind of feelings jump you back to high school. Like only if had I scored that touchdown, what position did you play?
I went both ways. I started at tailback and safety.
Yeah.
I did that junior and senior.
Would you
year.
like more?
I liked them both. It was you just don't not coming off the field is wears you down. But I loved it.
Right. Two-way player.
Yeah,
Those are rare now.
My junior year, they also had me on every special team. Man, that's got to be like 60 sprints or whatever. It was crazy. So they kind of figured maybe we should take them.
So
off
now,
the
did you say
teams.
that was what your 50th's coming up, or
next year will be our 50-year reunion?
So that was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't blow your mind.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I mean, my 30th. I can't even believe it. It's like, all right, maybe 5 years ago I graduated. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
my gray hair and baldness tells a different story.
It's it.
But oh well,
It.
We're hanging in there pretty good still, though.
That's right, man.
So that'll be a good weekend though coming up. You expect? Is it a lot of people like for the?
Yeah, we'll sell out the golf again. Once we did it one time, that's 144. That's the max.
And this is how many years of the golf?
That's at least 15 or so.
Oh, it's been going that.
Yeah, like I say, we started it was like 20 people.
So you have this down. Everything now is kind of routine for you a little bit.
Yep, it's all set.
It's got to be getting easier.
They Venmo me the money.
Oh yeah, it's even easier, right? You don't have to hunt down everybody, have them stop in your shop or in your office on.
And since we sold out, a lot of guys are getting the money in early, so they don't get cut.
Cool.
They make it. But yeah, we'll get 144 for that. The Friday night bash thing. My son's going to play at that one. Jorian
at Wilbur's.
Wilbur's, yeah, and those usually get on an average about 150 people. But with 3 reunions in town, it may be a little more. And then the big one on Sunday. So, yeah, it's
cool. Yeah. Something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
And your other endeavor lately is with the Sports Hall of Fame.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? I did work with them when they first started. The most recent, well, not you're the most recent, but the latest incarnation of it was I did the logo, helped with the website. I went to a couple of dinners and filmed everything when I was first started doing websites, and that was a good crew.
Yeah,
the guys they were trying to attract younger people, and you can knock it and say, well, these guys don't have a website, don't even have a logo yet. But the way that I saw it was like they're asking for it. Right. They want one. They know that it exists. Websites are getting more and more popular, so I always thought that was pretty cool with those guys. And they were the old timers.
Oh yeah.
Was it called the old time?
Originally, it was the Old Timers.
That's
Hall
what
of
they were
Fame.
getting off of that.
Yes.
That's right when I started working for them. They got off the Old Timers Hall of Fame to make it the Niagara
Falls Sports Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And so now we changed it last year to the Greater Niagara Sports Hall of Fame. And the reason was it's already in our bylaws.
Get them more.
What's that?
Get more.
Yeah, well, it's already in the bylaws that it was not only athletes from Niagara Falls, but Newport and Wheatfield are part of the territory. But when you say Niagara Falls Sports Hall of Fame, it doesn't ring. So we just changed it. We did another logo. We did another website.
Yeah, everything looks good. I saw everything.
Yeah, we're trying to move into this century or whatever.
And now you're on a podcast talking
We're on a
about it. So,
podcast,
yeah, you're definitely
man.
moving along.
Man, we're like zooming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our banquet will be the 18th of October, and what I would like to say is still time for people, if they're interested, if they think they have somebody who's worthy, to get in. There's an application. Just go to our website, Greater Niagara Sports Hall of Fame, but it's GNHOF. So there's an application right on there. Takes however long it takes you to put your stuff in there. And in July,
It's easy.
Beginning of July, we have the first meeting as we sit down and we discuss each person, and then 2 weeks later we do a blind vote, or a secret ballot, I guess you'd call it. And we've got some good ones in there now. Excuse me, we have some from last year that didn't make it that we just carry over.
Cool.
And a couple of those should make it this year.
And there's
Excuse me.
women are in.
Yes.
Younger sports people, right? It's not old timers.
It's not old timers, and one of my big. We debate this. It's still, you got to be 55 or older, and I personally don't know why that's the case. If it's not the old timers Hall of Fame. So I brought it up last year, and they're going, no, we don't have it. We might get too many people. So all right, let's go another year. So we're not going to change it midterm.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling after this banquet for next year, we're going to definitely talk about at least dropping it to 50. And again, I don't even know. Other than, if bottom line is, if someone's worthy, why do they have to wait?
Yeah.
I mean, the major sports Hall of Fame, they make you wait 5 years after you retire.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you guys can make the rules.
Yeah, we can make them, break them there. So I don't know. But yeah, we're trying to. We've got what's the word I'm looking for? We've got women. We're bringing women in, and we're trying to get more women and more. We want to get more blacks.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've got some. We had a couple last year that went in, and it really depends on who fills the applications out.
Yeah.
We don't go out and seek and say, hey, we want to put you in. Why don't we go out and tell people we want you to fill out the application is nothing.
Right. Simple.
But we would definitely like more people of color. We would like more women. With this age thing, if you look back when I was playing, women's sports weren't that prevalent.
Right. Yeah. There was a reason why before.
Right.
Now everything's so inclusive, and the age and the different WNBA now is getting pretty popular. Like
it's crazy.
Everything's starting. I guess it's the more flash you can put in, I guess, or the more stars you have and the better talent, it's going to attract more eyeballs. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's something. And the other thing I'd like to see is possibly putting teams in, championship teams.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
It's I guess what it is, we've got a mix of younger and we've got some older guys still there. There's like a little bit of a difference of opinion.
Right.
So we're not, and I didn't, when I came in, I'm not going to come in and change everything.
The first year.
Yeah.
I want it just wiped out.
So we're slowly, and we'll get there.
It makes sense though. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
it's cool. So it's, anybody, again, go to the website, Greater Niagara Sports Hall of Fame. We have a Facebook page also. That's kind of neat. What I did there is I had a lot of the old dinner programs with the bios of the recipients, and we put a lot of those, the more ones people would know, up on that site, and you can read what people have done in the past.
And the people that do get the awards, they're really honored about that. I mean, at the dinners, it was really special. They had the daughters and the grandkids and the families all showed up to clap for their grandfather or their father and support them. It was cool. It was really nice.
I found that to be true. You see, then you start seeing, like, then we put their pictures up, and then on the Facebook, and you'll see people going, he's so worthy, and we kind of bring joy to these people, because
it's nice,
because a lot of it was 40, 50 years ago,
right? And the kids don't even know that their grandfather did that until now, or hear the stories from the other people at the table. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of good stuff, and in the face of all the negativity that might be with certain bullshit politics, or even citywide politics and things that go on, it's nice to have these pockets of people still working together, still talking about the old days in a positive light, not just going, fucking lackey, he knocked everything down. I mean, that we'll save that for a different thing, but people are behind the scenes doing good work.
Yeah, it's a positive. It's a real nice thing. We got some real good ones in there right now. You know, I'll be shocked if they don't get voted in. Basically, when we get together, we have 15 people, so you got to get a quorum. So you got to have eight or more votes to make it.
Sometimes it's tough to get even 15 people at one of those meetings,
right?
Like all on the same schedule to meet up.
Yeah.
Where's the dinner now?
We switched over to Antonio's last year,
okay.
and that's a great. Frank and Tony, they were great.
Yeah.
They accommodated us, and it had been at the Como, and that's no longer
right.
the Como.
Maybe one of these days, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But this place is it's beautiful.
Yeah. They always like reach out and try to do good stuff with the community. You know, a lot of places will go there. A lot of different organizations.
Good food. The place is nice. Parking, hotels for the out of towners.
When is that again?
October 18th.
Oh, okay. And was that always in October?
Yeah, it's like the
it's always the thing.
Third. I think they try to make it the third Saturday in October all the time.
Things slow down a little bit then.
It's always during the World Series, though. It's like, when my
true.
Cardinals were in a couple of years ago.
Right.
But
the weather will be the same probably as it is right now.
Yeah.
This is October 18th weather. Son of a bitch.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So
I think about just coming to mind now is I was thinking about a pool that you said that, and then I was thinking about your posts on Facebook, and I think your brother might post that picture of your dad doing the dive. That's a pretty.
Yeah.
It's a well-known black and white picture of speaking of sports, and was he?
Yeah, he was that was his forte.
Yeah.
He also boxed and did other things, but he was a diver, and that was a diving exhibition he put on in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know how
Holy
the guy caught that whoever that photographer is. I don't know how. I mean, he's perfectly parallel to the ground, and it's really something. Yeah, he was undefeated his senior year in high school diving. He went to the some type of Olympic trials, Northeast trial. He was really good.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Oh, he's awesome.
He went in 2014.
Cool.
So yeah, he boxed, and he did. It got ruined, and we had some water in the basement at home. But he had this. It was a picture of him. He at the boys' club. They used to have pull-up competition.
Oh yeah.
He was like 13, black pants, no shirt, real skinny. The brush cut like this high up on the thing, and he did like 40, 41, 42, 43 chin-ups. He was a Northeastern pull-up champion for his age group.
Cool.
So he was.
So the sports run in the family.
Yeah.
Somehow Jamie, he missed out a little bit and picked up a guitar.
Been good. Jamie would have been good. He was real good. He was good in baseball. He was real good in football, on Tyrol football and stuff. But yeah, at age 13, he picked up the guitar and
never looked back.
Yeah.
Right.
He got on with my buddy. He wanted to get into lessons, so I hooked him up with my buddy Jimmy Jekovich. Took lessons, then he started taking lessons from different guys, different styles, jazz and classical and blah blah blah. And so that's why he's so well versed. He's got a broad range of knowledge.
And is that where your son picks it up from his uncle? Like they've
talked. Yeah. But Jory, same thing. Both of them actually always had to hear my music. Jamie had to. I'm 13 years older than him.
Yeah.
So when I'm a teenager, he's a little kid. He's a little
right. You're the influence.
And so he's listening to Tull and Zeppelin and Steely Dan and all that.
Yeah.
And my son, same thing. My kids, when I'm driving back and forth to grade school, and they're listening to my CDs.
Right. Yeah. A little implanting it. That's good though. Those are good bands. Now, with me, my experience with you, getting to know you better was softball on Tuesday nights. Was it at Reservoir?
Yeah, we did Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So him and a gaggle of guys would play softball. I'd go there, just cheer them on. Then we go to the pavilion afterwards, have beers, and listen to the Beatles.
That's it.
Right? You guys would put Beatles on the boom box or whatever it was, and then we'd just shoot the shit about the Beatles for an hour. That was
man.
A good time.
Half the fun after softball was the after party.
Yeah, right. I'd even come for like the last innings just to meet you guys at the pavilion.
And then Dave's last chance.
Yeah, that's right. Is that like get pitchers of beer or something and just sit outside and do the same thing?
Yeah, he's got a volleyball out back. He's got a nice. I still drive by there. That's a nice setup.
Is it still being used? I don't even know. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I haven't seen anybody. Actually, maybe now because it's starting to get nicer.
You got to drive by. He always improved that place. I mean, it was kind of it was different, but the interior.
It's a different spot, but the volleyball courts and everything were pretty. Yeah, they were pretty nice.
Yep.
Went to a party there last year, and it was pretty good. My buddy's 50th birthday.
You still have the big bear by the bathroom out
in
the
there's a lot of taxidermy
case?
in the inside. Yeah. It's definitely different.
Does he still have the moose head over the jukebox?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. It's got to
Vinny
be.
Mameli did he had the best line, and then I used it all the time. He went up and leaned up against this moose head, and it was like this. He goes, "Joel, tell me the truth. Do I have too much moose in my hair?"
Oh, jeez.
So
Yeah,
now
that's a Mameli joke. Yeah.
That's what I started doing. Plagiarism.
He played on the softball team too, right? Was he? He was always on. That was a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, we had fun. That was
good.
We had a riot. Those were great times. The leagues were so much. They don't now. What happens out there? The diamonds are beautiful now. They've redone the whole place.
I think there's lights too, right?
One is lit. Got home run fences. But what they do now is they charge whoever's running the league. They have to take out insurance, and it's like whatever. When I was doing it, was like $1,200, and these guys aren't making a lot to begin with.
Yeah.
They got to pay the umpires. They got to buy the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't see a lot of softball out there now. But when we were playing, sometimes there'd be 4 or 5 diamonds.
Right. It was fun too, and then I think like it's gotten pretty serious over the years. Like the dudes going out there, they're like. My experience the past couple of times I've watched or had a friend that was playing and everything, it was like everybody was just taking it way too serious. Like the fun and like the kind of goofiness that's why I liked it when I was going, and it was a fun night. And this was like everybody's like at each other's throats and about to kill each other. Like
the young guys, the
testosterone rage is a little high.
That's why they needed to do a dress up game. You ever come to our dress up?
Oh yeah. That was good. That was funny.
Those are great.
Holy shit, I forgot about that. Was that the last game or?
Nah, we would just pick one. I don't know. In the middle of the season. That started with way back good. When it was when we were at Fontana Rosa Construction. Pete used to sponsor our team, and we had I'm half Italian, so we had all these Italian guys on the team, and it started getting like what you're saying. There was infighting during the game. If a guy made an error, you guys catch the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what are you guys doing? I go, we're playing like a bunch of a-holes. Why don't we dress like them too, and have a good time and just go out and relax? Everything was getting too intense.
Yeah.
So we'd go out at a time, have a couple beers, dress up like Halloween, walk out with the jukebox playing Lazy by Deep Purple, walk around the park, and then go and play. And we had a winning record for quite a while on dress up games until we get a little too old.
Right. Anybody play still? Do you guys ever get together anymore? That batch of dudes? That was good. Who was the pitcher guy?
Oh, it depends on when you were there.
It was
Lonke.
Yes.
John Lonke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good guy.
Yeah. We had
That's it.
We had a lot of guys. Some of the guys played for a long time. We picked. Towards the end, it was hard to get guys out.
I think that's when I started showing up because I played a couple times and you don't want me playing. I played catcher and I got fucking crushed. Dude knocked me out. I was standing in the line. The ball was coming. As soon as it hit my mitt, this dude creamed me, and I got up, and I saw saw the stars were like, zing, zing,
That would be called a concussion.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but no, I was trying for you guys. I was still out there.
I always told the catchers, man, don't block the plate.
I didn't even know. I don't even know.
Get in front of the plate. If you catch the ball, then you can tag him.
I was a dumbass standing there like an idiot waiting, and he like a train coming clocked me.
Yeah, that's not.
And I dropped the ball too. So I admit it though.
That's tough. It's kind of It's not worth it.
No,
basically.
But it was fun.
There you go.
It was a fun Tuesday night.
There you go.
So yeah, well, this summer you got different events. We're gonna put everything up on the screen, and then have people reach out for tickets and come see you and vote for their. Is it a Hall of Fame? It's a Hall of Fame.
It's a Hall of Fame. It's a nomination. Yeah.
And is names on a plaque too, right? Is that at?
Yeah,
that was at the Como.
That was at the Como,
Okay.
and now we've got it, and it's in
cool.
Chris Robbins' basement. So for $5, you can take a tour. No.
Yeah, knock on Critter's door and go down.
Yeah,
and
we're looking for a home for that, and I believe we have it, which is going to be
Awesome.
High Park Golf Course.
Good.
As soon as you walk in, there's plaques on the wall, and
cool.
From what I understand, everything's been cleared for them to put that up there.
Nice.
And add that. So
busy summer ahead.
Yeah, man, I can't wait.
We just got to wait for the weather to break.
I think next week they say.
All right.
That's what they say.
Let's do it, and we hope to have you back.
Cool.
Have you in the chair again, and kind of catch up maybe after everything, and we could conclude it.
Sure.
And then get the audience ready for next year.
You got it, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brother.
Thank you very much.